Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video explaining where I've been lately. You haven't seen a video from me in a couple days, and it's because I've been actually upgrading my studio, if you want to call it, here back at home. So as you can see, I've bought a new microphone, so there's no longer going to be that really annoying crackle. And so basically I wanted to break down to you guys what my hope is in creating Your Occupy News. I really see this as a broad possibility of kind of dethroning the corporate media and taking back the media from their hands. And I know that sounds very idealistic, but I'll describe to you a few ways in which I plan on, with the help of the larger community, actually getting that done. And so the first thing we have to do is to get people to stop watching television. Everything you see on television is completely controlled, usually just by a handful of corporations. And yet people watch that and take what they see on television as fact and as the truth, which is not the case whatsoever. It is manipulated to a very large degree. Almost everything you see on television is bullshit. One example I'd like to give, and I like to explain this to people, is I was watching the news with my uncle here in my house. And it was the day that Canada, for us Canadians, we pulled out of the Kyoto Protocol, which got us international condemnation from countries such as China, condemned us for pulling out of the Kyoto Protocol. And yet on the news that day, it was not even mentioned that we pulled out of Kyoto. The top story, I shit you not, was about a bear getting in a garbage truck, essentially, and that was the top story of the day. No mention of the Kyoto Protocol or anything of any substance or real purpose. And so what we have to do to get people off television, and this is going to be a lot easier for the younger generation who already gets all their news via the internet. All we have to do is get them to alternative news sources, you know, not reading the New York Times or the National Post or the Financial Post. You know, and I say not reading the New York Times because they have been war propagandists in the past, and they are slated and biased quite a bit. Not quite on the level of the Financial Post and the National Post, which were Conrad Black's, the financial mogul's, tool to battle what he saw the liberal bias in the newspapers here in Canada. So it's going to be easy for us to get the younger generation to watch the real news, considering they're already on the internet. But the way to get the older generation is to offer true alternatives to television. And so one example of this is live streaming. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the live streams from around the world at different occupations. We've seen live streams from Egypt, truly all over the world. Now, live stream for us offers a way that we can have basically television programming via the internet for free. Occupy Vancouver has a deal with Global Revolution, who has a deal with livestream.com itself. All Global Revolution does is tells livestream.com what a new Occupy live stream is, and then that live stream is given an account where they are able to rack up as many minutes as they want for free. It's all done through Global Revolution. This is very helpful. Within a few weeks at Occupy Vancouver, a buddy of mine and I went over the bill, and it was already a couple $1,000s. So needless to say, we almost shit our pants because we had racked up hundreds of thousands of minutes at that point, but it's all done through Global Revolution. And so what this means is that we basically have a television channel that we can use, and we could have programming, let's say at 5 or 6 o'clock every day, where, for example, I or somebody else, you know, breaks down the news, and we can have Skype conversations where it's not just me in the screen, but it's me in this corner and then someone else in what would be this corner here. And, you know, we can have a dialogue and discuss issues while people are chatting on the side. Now, that is a way that if we can get people tuning in to livestream.com/YourOccupyNews, Occupy Vancouver, whatever it is, that's an alternative to news media. Me doing commentary like this is also an alternative. Facebook pages are another great thing. We see these things like Exposing the Truth, which is a great Facebook page, and I urge you all to like it. You know, this is just someone or a group of people who have a Facebook page and they post news. And the fact is that the news that they're posting is of such high quality and so timely that they've now garnered over 80,000 likes. And so every time they post something, that usually goes to 80,000 people. So you see, there are ways to beat the traditional media. You can have a high amount of circulation via the internet. We just have to keep on offering alternatives. And so what Your Occupy News is, for me, is an alternative. And if you give me 1 second here, actually no, I'll just try and go off memory. What I'm trying to do, my name is Anthony Manning, by the way, good to meet you guys. What I'm trying to do is use Your Occupy News and create it into an alternative media. And so what I want is for me to find like-minded people, you know, good talkers, socially aware of what's happening in the world, and these are the requirements. I might miss a few, I'm going off memory here. Number 1, there must be a webcam and a working microphone that you have. Now, if you are a good speaker or have a lot to say and you don't have these things, you know, it's very simple to get set up with this. You know, what I have right here, the video looks pretty good, the audio sounds pretty good, and you know, this costs well under $200 for a condenser microphone and a 1080p webcam. And looking down the road, it would be really nice if we could take donation money in and start outfitting people with webcams and microphones. The microphones are really optional, but to have a 1080p webcam, I bought this for $60 from Staples. It was $120, $60 off for $60. So a webcam and a microphone is the first necessity. The second is knowing how to work Twitter. Now, Twitter is super simple, but it's a very good way to connect with people and get news out very quickly. If you look at twitter.com/YourOccupyNews, it has over 300,000 Twitter followers. You know, that's an amazing source of information for people. If you ever want to, at any given time of day, know what's happening in the world of Anonymous, you check that out and instantly you're brought up to speed. It's really a one-stop place for a ton of good information. Another thing you have to know how to be able to do is upload YouTube videos. Another thing that is insanely simple. It truly could not be simpler. Another thing is how to be an administrator on a Facebook page, just like Exposing the Truth. Again, that's extremely simple. Now, if we can create a militia, a media militia, if you will, and if you think about the modern day age as we're in a media war right now, we're in an information war, then a group of citizens who are armed with the technology that allows them to wage an information war against the corporate media, then what are those citizens other than a media militia? And so that's really what I want to construct in the theme of, you know, really taking down this corporate media. Any way we can boycott corporate anything, be it corporate food, corporate media, it's all good because it's all slowly chipping away at their power. So this is my grand scheme with creating Your Occupy News. So if you're interested, send me a message on YouTube and I'll get back to you. And let's do this thing. I think that there's a lot of potential for creating a news organization that is much better. You know, I made a couple of videos that, you know, it took me 5 or 10 minutes. I do everything in one take, like I'm doing this in one take and putting it straight onto YouTube. forgot about it for a couple days, come back, it has 250 views, 5 thumbs up, and a couple comments. You know, there is a market for this. People really are craving for good information and for good speakers and good analysis. And so if you are someone who can analyze things well and you're a good speaker, then definitely contact me, hop on board. Even if you're not, actually here's another couple ideas that I had. One is that you have to have a Google Plus account, and the other is that you have to have a Ventrilo account. And so what this will allow us to do is Ventrilo is a way for mass communication via speaking, voice communication, voice over IP. And so basically what I would like to see is for everybody to log into Ventrilo when they get onto a computer, because it's a really easy way to check in with everyone who's online, see what everyone's up to, and see what the projects that people are working on are. Another thing is a Google Plus account, because a Google Plus account allows you to use Google Hangout, which is, you know, a 4, 5, 6-way video call. And so, you know, calling up a meeting and everyone driving or taking the bus or biking down to a spot and then sitting in a spot and, you know, talking and drinking water and eating food, that's truly the way of the dinosaur, if you ask a techie or an under 25. You know, I can meet with people all over the world and we can have one of these Google Hangout meetings, and it's simple. You can call it a meeting instantly. And so what I'd like to see is for everyone to have a Google Plus account, so that if you want to begin a project with someone or talk to someone face to face, it's really quickly and can be done very fast. And so, as you can see, one of the requirements for contributing on behalf of YourOccupyNews is a bit of technical prowess, and you know, that's not an accident. We're trying to really arm ourselves with this technology so that we're able to fight back. You know, the technology we have, the manpower we have, now it's just utilizing it and putting it together in a big picture that can really fight back. And if you look at, you know, alternative news such as Your Real News, the YouTube account, that's an amazing resource. Democracy Now!, that's an amazing resource. And so, you know, with us, with a $60 webcam, we can do something that's right along those lines. So join with me. You know, if you want to be a part of this, then hop on board, message me. I'm going to also put my Facebook profile link in the description so you can contact me on Facebook. And if you have no interest in this, or you don't think this is the thing for you to do, then, you know, just join us for the ride. We're going to try everything we do. It's kind of like David and Goliath right now, tackling the corporate media, but they're losing power at an alarming rate. You know, alternative media is becoming the new media because people are waking up. People know that it's bullshit. Congress has a single-digit approval rating. The people know that it's a sham. And so right now, that's why the demand is so high for this kind of high-quality commentary, because the people are waking up at an alarming rate, and they want to ingest information. So we're going to be there to serve them up a plate of some good info. So take care, my friends. Keep fighting, and I will see you again very shortly.